A warm welcome everyone to Amazing You. I am your host, Rani Thanakodi. I am a hypnotherapist and also a Mars Venus life and relationship coach and astrologer. I help women and men who feel stuck in their lives to overcome their emotional and physical issues by using a rapid and innovative hypnotherapy method to get rid of those issues so that they live a fulfilling life and relationships without spending years in therapy. Hi everyone, welcome to Amazing You. Today I have the great pleasure to introduce you to Tina B. Tina is Africa's longest living recipient of a heart and bilateral lung transplant, and Tina is also a hope and surgery coach. Welcome, Tina.
Thank you so much for having me, Ronnie. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for taking the time to be here to talk to the audience.
My absolute pleasure.
So tell us, Tina, briefly about your story.
So I was essentially, born with heart defects. And eventually, due to the makeup of my condition and the things that were wrong with me, I developed one of the rare diseases of the world called pulmonary hypertension, essentially high blood pressure in the lungs. Prognosis for my life wasn't good. My parents were told I would be lucky to reach my teens. After surgeries and pacemakers and sort of all kinds of things to try and keep me going, I eventually made it to age 30. They kept me alive that long, which was amazing. But eventually I got to the end of sort of all the treatments and the drugs that they could do for me and the surgeries and things like that. And so at the age of 28, I was listed on the South African transplant list for a heart and bilateral lung transplant. It's also known as a block transplant, and those transplants don't come along as frequently as, say, kidney and liver transplants. The donor has to be brainstem dead. There's a whole lot of criteria that needs to be met in order for someone to donate heart and lungs. Then I managed to get my transplant.
Okay.
And like I say, life absolutely completely changed for me. I went from being in bed 24/7. I was sleeping 18 to 20 hours a day. My mum was waking me up for meals. I was on oxygen. I had shaved off my hair because I didn't have the energy to brush it. I was eating things like soups because I couldn't chew. It was too exhausting. To someone that is almost normal. I've taken part in the Cape Town cycle tour. I've taken part in modeling a fitness model competition.
Okay.
I've absolutely run my own business now. Like, life has completely changed.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And tell us, what has inspired you to start your business, Tina?
So after spending many, many hours and years essentially in bed and thinking to myself how lonely I felt, when I was going through what I was going through, there were no sort of Facebook support groups. There wasn't really sort of internet websites and things like that would support you. There weren't any WhatsApp support groups. Yes, I was going to a psychologist, but the psychologist I went to had never traveled a transplant journey. So as much as she helped me and she was amazing, I couldn't get what I wanted from her because she didn't know firsthand my story. So I decided then that if I made it and if I survived and I got my transplants, I wouldn't let anyone ever go through what I went through alone. It's a tough road to go through. And especially, no one understands because no one can put themselves in your shoes unless you've been there. And not only that, but the families who are supporting you and love you and are trying their very best, they don't understand either. And it's difficult to try and communicate that to people that don't know.
Yeah.
So I decided I would support on both sides, where I would support the transplant patient or the patient with chronic illness or disease,
Yes.
through their journey, as well as support the family and the friends and the support team that is supporting the patient through this journey, because it's difficult on both sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where that stems from.
Yeah. And what has been the greatest challenge in your life, Tina? And how did you overcome it?
So I think the greatest challenge for me was trying to find hope and a reason for living when I had essentially been given a death sentence. Treatment options had run out.
Okay.
Transplant of a heart and two lungs, which essentially is three organs, that's a long shot.
Yeah.
In any country in the world. They can save three people instead of just one with those three organs. So I think, yeah, trying to find hope and a reason to keep going when you're waiting to die is probably my biggest challenge in life.
And how did you do that, Tina?
I think through family support and positivity. I think through a positive mindset and the attitude that I would never give up, and I would always, no matter how much life I had left in me, I would always try to enjoy what I had, be grateful for what I had, and try and make a difference in the lives of the people that I knew while I was still alive. Whatever way that was going to be. So yes, I think that was essentially the best way to find hope and a reason to keep going.
Yes, yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Who has been the most influential person in your life, Tina? And what are
Sure,
the qualities that you admire in those people? It could be one or it could be a few people.
Yeah, so many people. I think my mom, first of all, for her tenacity and her never say die attitude.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she is a lot of the reason that I didn't give up, because I've got that part of her in me, is that never say die, never give up, keep pushing, always keep moving forward. If you have a bad day, accept it, have a bad day, and then tomorrow wake up. It's a new day, keep pushing forward. I think my dad, for his endless positivity, he will always, no matter what the situation is, he will always look on the bright side. He will always make you laugh. He will always find something good in something bad. And then, yeah, I think just the help and the support and the understanding of friends and family. And I think understanding and kindness is probably one of the biggest things that I was given and that I would like to give back.
Yes. What quote has helped you to cope in challenging times?
Sure. Again, so many quotes, but I think any quote that refers to never giving up, keeping a positive mindset. Certainly my faith carried me through a lot. Right. Believing that there's a higher power, that it's not all for nothing, like that there's a reason for something. Yeah. I think all of those sort of quotes and ideas have kept me running, going through. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And what would you say to encourage people today who are facing some tough times or who have to go through some surgeries? What would you like to tell them today?
I would like to say, first of all, never give up, never say die. It's always darkest before the dawn. So you never know what's lying around the next corner. So don't ever give up. Keep pushing. Keep your dream alive. And then for people that are facing surgery or sort of chronic illness, preparation. I think preparation is key to anything in life. You have to prepare in order to succeed. You have to prepare in order to achieve anything in life. And surgery and chronic illness are no different to anything else. You need to prepare to have a successful surgery. You need to prepare yourself to live with a chronic illness so that you have so that it makes it easier for you to survive and live and carry on, finding a reason and keeping gratitude. I think preparation absolutely is key in anything in life.
Okay, all right. Thank you. And tell us now briefly about your business and how can people reach you?
So my business is, again, like I say, born out of my experience. And I help people prepare for surgery. That's why I call myself a surgery coach. In all, it's a holistic approach. So mind, body, soul, sort of exercises and stretching, your diet, all of those sorts of things. There's things that I can do in order to help you prepare for surgery, as well as helping your family prepare for what's to come as well. And then I offer after support as well. So from what to expect in hospital, tips and tricks on how to get out of hospital sooner, how to equip your home so that you can get through that transition, if you will, while you're healing. And that's the surgery coaching side. And then the hope coaching side is if you have received a terminal illness of any kind or a major upheaval in your life or a major loss of some kind, I guide you through to find your reason and your hope again so that you can get back to the life that you deserve to live in spite of what you are going through and the challenges you are facing. So that's what I do. And I'm also an inspirational speaker. So I share my story and tips and tricks with those that need it for encouragement or inspiration or anything like that. So for all of those services, you can find me on all social media as Tina Be Alive, or on my website, www.tinabealive.com.
Okay, Tina, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing today, and thank you for the audience for listening. And I wish you continued success, and please do come again whenever you want. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ronnie, for having me, and thank you everybody for listening to my story, and I do hope to hear from all of you soon. Thank you so much again.